Think about the last time someone asked you how you were doing and you actually told them the truth. Not the, "I'm good, busy, but good" version. The real version. The one where you say what's actually going on inside you, what you're afraid of, what's been sitting heavy on you, what you want but haven't said out loud yet. For most people, that moment is rare. And for most couples, it's rarer than either person in the relationship wants to admit. Emotional intimacy sounds simple. It sounds like something that happens naturally when two people spend enough time together and care enough about each other. But that's not what the research shows. What the research shows is that emotional intimacy is not one thing. It's a progression. It moves through levels. And most couples, even ones who have been together for years, even ones who love each other genuinely and fully, get comfortable at level 2 and never move beyond it. This video is about what those levels actually look like, what it feels like to be in each one, and what it costs you to stop climbing. Level 1 is surface connection. This is where every relationship begins, and there is nothing wrong with it. It's necessary, it's warm, and it can feel genuinely good. At this level, you share the easy things. Your opinions on movies, your sense of humor, your preferences, your weekend plans, the highlights of your day. Conversation flows. You enjoy each other's company. There is lightness here and laughter, and the particular pleasure of discovering that someone finds the same things funny that you do. But everything shared at this level is low risk. Nothing offered here can really be used against you. Nothing revealed here requires real courage. And that's the defining quality of level 1. It is intimacy without vulnerability. It is a connection without exposure. Psychologists who study relationship formation describe this stage as the presentation layer, the version of yourself you are comfortable offering before you know whether the other person is safe enough to receive more. Level 1 is not shallow. It is simply the beginning. The problem is not being here. The problem is staying here permanently and calling it closeness. Level 2 is personal disclosure. This is where most couples live, and it can feel deep. It genuinely can, because at this level, you start sharing more. You talk about your past, your family, your childhood, the relationship before this one that ended badly, your career anxieties, your fears about money or the future, or whether you're doing enough with your life. You let the other person see your history, and that feels significant because for many people it is the most they have ever shared with anyone. But here is what level 2 does not yet require. It does not require you to share what is happening inside you right now, in real time, in this relationship, with this person. The past is safer than the present. Your childhood wounds are safer than the wound that happened last Tuesday in a conversation that hasn't been fully addressed. Your old relationship trauma is safer than the thing you felt last night that you haven't found the words for yet. Level 2 creates the feeling of intimacy through the sharing of history. But history has already been processed. It has been packaged. It can be offered without full exposure because you have already survived it. Real-time vulnerability, the kind that has no distance yet, no resolution, no neat narrative that begins at level 3. Level 3 is present tense vulnerability. And this is where most couples quietly stop. Not because they don't love each other, not because they aren't trying, but because level 3 requires something that nothing in most people's emotional education has prepared them for. It requires saying what you are feeling right now, before you have figured out how to say it perfectly, before you know how the other person will respond, before you are certain it will be received without judgment or defensiveness or the particular pain of being misunderstood by the one person you most need to understand you. At level 3, you stop talking about who you were and start revealing who you are. You say things like, "I've been feeling disconnected from you, and I don't fully know why yet, but I needed to say it." Or when that happened last week, something in me closed and I've been trying to reopen it ever since. Or I'm scared that I need more from this relationship than I know how to ask for. These are not comfortable things to say. They are not comfortable things to hear. And the moment one person in a relationship attempts level 3 and is met with defensiveness, dismissal, or silence, the instinct is to retreat, to package it, to go back to level 2 where things were safer. Relationship researchers, including Dr. John Gottman, have documented that the couples who sustain genuine closeness over time are the ones who can tolerate the discomfort of level 3, who have built enough safety between them to say the unformed, unresolved, emotionally raw thing, and trust that the relationship can hold it. Before we go to level 4, if this is already naming something you've felt but never had the language for, subscribe to this channel. This is the kind of psychology that changes how you see your relationships. And there is so much more of it here. Level 4 is mutual surrender. And this level is rare. Genuinely, documentably rare. Not because people don't want it. Almost everyone does, whether they have the words for it or not. But because reaching it requires both people to have passed through level 3, repeatedly, consistently, and without abandoning each other in the difficulty of it. Mutual surrender is not a dramatic moment. It does not arrive on a particular night or after a particular conversation. It is the accumulated result of two people who have chosen, over and over again, to keep showing up at the level that scared them. At level 4, you no longer perform for each other, not because the effort is gone, but because the need for the performance is. You have seen each other in the unfinished, unresolved, least presentable moments of yourselves and chosen to stay. You have been disappointed and returned. You have been misunderstood and repaired. You have said the thing that felt impossible to say and survived the saying of it. At this level, silence between two people is not distance, it's presence. The need to fill every moment with conversation has dissolved because the connection no longer depends on constant confirmation. You are known, fully, imperfectly, and without condition, and that knowing that is what emotional intimacy actually means at its deepest and most real. Here is the question worth sitting with honestly. Which level does your relationship actually live in? Not which level you aspire to, not which level you reached once, during a particularly honest conversation at 2 in the morning and then didn't return to for 6 months. Which level is the daily reality? Because here is what the research consistently shows. Couples who plateau at level 1 often mistake comfort for closeness. Couples who plateau at level 2 often mistake history for honesty. And the gap between where most relationships actually operate and where both people in them quietly wish they were, that gap is the source of the low-grade loneliness that exists inside partnerships that look, from the outside, completely fine. The move from one level to the next is never comfortable. It always requires one person to go first to say the harder thing before they know it will be safe to say it. And that person, the one who goes first, is not being naive or reckless. They are doing the single most important thing a relationship requires. They are making it possible. Because emotional intimacy cannot be demanded or negotiated or arrived at through the right sequence of date nights. It can only be built, slowly, imperfectly, and with a willingness on both sides to keep choosing depth over distance, even when distance feels safer. The couples who make it to level 4 are not the ones who never hurt each other. They are not the ones who always communicate perfectly or never go to bed unresolved. They are the ones who decided, somewhere along the way, that being truly known by another person was worth the risk of being truly seen. And they kept making that decision in the small, ordinary moments of their ordinary life, until it became not a decision anymore, just the way they loved each other. That's not luck, that's a choice. And it's one you can make, starting with the very next conversation. Hit the like and subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next one.